Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. 90-Day Fiancé. Jenny and Sumit open up about struggles of setting up their cafe with no running water. It's stressful. 90-Day Fiancé stars Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh's first day at the cafe turned into a total disaster. They never imagined things would take such an unexpected turn on their inauguration day. The reality TV stars are finally opening up about the challenges they have faced along the way and how these challenges have affected their business. Jenny and Sumit appear to still regret some of the choices they made in the initial stage of their cafe business. Things spiraled quickly when Singh saw his dad using water from the washroom to wash vegetables. The TLC star had a beef with his family on the very first day of their business, and he hurt them all. Well, Jenny and Sumit appear to have learned a lot from their mistakes. What did they share? Have they finally found a solution? https://www.instagram.com/p/dq-cognitum/?HL=n. 90-Day Fiancé. Jenny shocked at cow urine blessing at their cafe. Sumit Singh's family agreed to help him run his cafe in India. He even named it Family Cafe to appreciate their efforts. The 90-Day Fiancé star and his family wanted to follow the Hindu tradition at the inauguration of his cafe. Sumit's family invited a priest to perform all the sermons and rituals to get blessings from God. However, Jenny was in disbelief to learn about the special holy water sprayed at the cafe. She learnt that they were spraying cow urine mixed with holy water to bless their cafe. Sumit explained that cow urine holds great significance in their culture and is used on every occasion. Still, Jenny had a hard time processing everything and felt grossed out. She felt Americans would never allow something in their kitchen. 90-Day Fiancé. Jenny and Sumit spill major struggles of running a cafe without water. Jenny and Sumit explored various locations before finalizing their place for their cafe. They compromised on running water because they wanted to set up their business in a prime location. The 90-Day Fiancé stars were ready to operate in a small place to attract more customers. Unfortunately, things took an unexpected turn when they actually started working. Recently, Sumit and Jenny shared the various struggles they faced while working in a cafe with no running water. The former shared how stressful it was actually to manage the entire cafe. He worked at various restaurants before starting his own business. However, the reality TV star became overwhelmed when he had to execute other tasks in addition to cooking. Jenny admitted, "We were all brand new at it, so none of us knew what we were doing." Sumit realized running a business is much more complicated than cooking. He told Access Hollywood about the changes he made after facing all the challenges due to the lack of running water. The reality TV star shared that he moved his business to a new place with easy access to running water. Sumit added, "Yeah, it has a sink, an actual sink with running water because we were struggling over there without it." He also explained that it has become costly to buy hygienic water every day. The 90-Day Fiancé stars were losing a significant amount of money due to the water issues. Fans were glad to know that Sumit and Jenny have found a solution for their business. They also liked to know that the couple's business is still running, and it wasn't fake. For more tea on Sumit and Jenny's venture, keep coming back to TV season and spoilers. The morning sun rolled over the rooftops of Noida, painting the dusty streets with ribbons of gold as Jenny Slatin stepped out of the rickshaw and stared at the tiny storefront she and Sumit had poured their hearts and every spare rupee into. The bright blue door they'd painted 2 weeks ago looked cheerful enough. But inside was chaos. Jenny took a deep breath before pushing open the door. "Another day, another chance this place still won't have running water," she muttered. Sumit, crouched behind the counter with a wrench in one hand and YouTube pulled up on his cracked phone, looked up immediately. "Good news or bad news first?" he asked. "Give me the bad news." "I'm already prepared," she said, dropping her purse onto the table they'd bought from a man who promised it was authentic reclaimed wood, which probably meant it came from someone's backyard. Sumit sighed dramatically. "Bad news is we still don't have water." Jenny pinched the bridge of her nose. "And the good news? I think I know why we don't have water." They stared at each other for a long moment before Jenny finally said, "That's not really good news, Sumit." He stood, brushing dust off his jeans. "Look, baby, it's all part of opening a cafe in India. We'll figure it out. We always do." But even as he said it, the stress lines around his eyes told a different story. A cafe dream, or nightmare. Setting up the cafe had been their dream. Something peaceful, something small, something they could grow together now that their lives had steadied after years of fighting family expectations, cultural clashes, and questions about age gaps from strangers on the street. Jenny had pictured a cozy breakfast spot with American Indian fusion dishes. Masala omelets, chai pancakes, and Sumit's famous aloo paratha. She imagined herself chatting with customers while Sumit handled the kitchen. A retirement dream come to life. Instead, they'd spent the last 3 weeks dealing with construction delays, strange wiring issues, no permits, a carpenter who disappeared halfway through building the bar counter, and now no water. "It's stressful," Jenny said into the camera during her confessional that afternoon, her voice cracking. "I mean, I love Sumit, and I love that we're doing something together, but I never expected it to be this hard. You can't run a cafe without water. I can't even make coffee without footage of Jenny staring at an empty stainless steel sink, like it had personally betrayed her." Sumit, in his own confessional, laughed nervously. "Jenny is freaking out. I understand. But this happens in India. The plumber says he will come tomorrow. Or maybe the next day. Or the day after that. We just have to be patient." He shrugged, smiling. The producer's voice off-screen asked, "Do you think Jenny's good at being patient?" Sumit paused. Next question. The breaking point. By midday, the cafe was sweltering. The fans whirred overhead, but did little to chase away the thickness of the air. Jenny stood near the front door, watching dust drift across the floor they had just swept that morning. "I can't decorate until the water is fixed," she said. "I can't test recipes until the water is fixed. I can't even wash my hands in here." Sumit wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "We'll go get bottled water and start small today. We'll test some menu items." But that only irritated her more. Bottled water? For cooking? For washing vegetables? For cleaning dishes? That's crazy. "Baby, it's temporary." Jenny shook her head. "Everything's temporary until it's permanent, Sumit. And right now this place feels like one giant problem." Still, she could see he was trying. Hard. And she knew that in India, nothing moved quickly unless you paid someone enough to make it move. They didn't have that kind of money. She exhaled. "Fine. Let's get bottled water." Recipe testing. Goes wrong. 3 hours later, Jenny found herself in the small kitchen behind the cafe, stirring batter in a metal bowl while Sumit lit the stovetop to test the masala pancake idea she'd been so excited about. "See? It's working," Sumit said proudly, flipping a pancake that stuck halfway to the pan and flopped back with a sad splat. Jenny groaned. Then came the moment they realized they'd need more water because the batter had stiffened, the vegetables hadn't been washed, and the dishes from the morning needed cleaning. "We need like 20 gallons more," Jenny said, hands on her hips. "I'll go get it," Sumit offered. Jenny stayed behind in the cafe, sitting alone at one of the mismatched chairs they'd scored from a flea market. She watched the dust motes dance in the sunlight. The place had potential, real potential. She knew that, but the setbacks were wearing her thin. "What if this was a bad idea?" she whispered. In her heart, she knew it wasn't. She and Sumit had made it through far worse. Families trying to split them up, arguments about finances, cultural misunderstandings, public judgment, immigration struggles. If they could survive that, surely they could survive a little plumbing issue. Right? A surprise visitor. When the bell above the cafe door chimed, Jenny looked up, expecting Sumit with the water jugs. Instead, it was Amit, Sumit's brother. Jenny stiffened. Amit hadn't been thrilled about the cafe idea, especially because he believed Sumit should be working a real job. Even worse, he had only slowly begun warming to Jenny after years of family tension. Hi, Jenny said cautiously. Amit walked in, eyes scanning the half-finished cafe. "Mom said you two are still having problems with the water." Jenny sighed. "Yeah, we're trying." Amit nodded, then knelt down to inspect the pipes. "Let me see." Jenny blinked. "Do you know about plumbing?" "A little. I worked construction for 2 years, remember?" Amit said without looking up. Within minutes, he had located the problem. A blocked line behind the building caused by a buildup of debris from recent roadwork. "You won't get water until this is cleared," he said. "But I know a guy." Jenny nearly cried with relief. A family moment, finally. When Sumit returned, sweating and carrying 2 massive jugs of water, he froze at the sight of his brother. "Amit, what are you doing here?" "Saving your cafe," Amit said simply. Something softened in Sumit's face, a gratitude that went deeper than just the pipes. They had been rebuilding their relationship ever since the family drama years back. This moment felt like a step forward. Jenny watched them, smiling softly. "Thank you, Amit." "Really?" Amit shrugged. "Family helps family. Hope it lasts. By the time evening rolled in, the water problem wasn't fully resolved. But now they had a plan, a real solution, and someone on their side. Jenny leaned against the doorframe, watching the sky turn pink. It's stressful, she admitted. But I think we're going to be okay. Sumit hugged her from behind. We will make this cafe work. Because we're doing it together. Jenny smiled, letting herself believe it. For the first time that week, the dream felt alive again.